Good morning. I'm actually so excited about today's video because we are going to be going to the TaylorMade office. So we're going to go and have a look at their custom fit labs. We're also going to go and have a look at their tour lab. We are also going to be picking up my brand new clubs that I got after my custom fit the other day. I feel like I've been waiting for them for ages, and every time a delivery comes I'm like, ooh, is it my clubs? It's not, it never is. I've literally been sat by that door over there for so long and they've never arrived. So we're going to go and pick them up today. So excited. We're getting a new bag as well. I'm going to show you in another video like a full tour of my bag, or what's in the bag, you know how it is. And then I'll also do like a what's not in the bag, because that is also a very good question. Sometimes I don't even know the answer to that myself. It's because I actually take it out of the bag. I need to leave right now, otherwise I'm going to be late. I'm meant to be there in like 2 hours and it takes about 2 hours to get there. So we're going to rush off, drive, and then yeah, I will see you there. Hello, we are at the TaylorMade office. They've actually got a space just for me. Here we go, TaylorMade. Mia Baker, this is your car space. Right, let's go inside. Welcome to the TaylorMade office. Welcome to Beyond. And we've got some of the TaylorMade golfers on here. So cool. Going into the brand center. I always feel like I'm going to watch a movie whenever I come through here. Oh my goodness. This is the most exciting thing I've ever seen. This is the secret Tardis room as well. TaylorMade stuff. This is actually the coolest thing really. This room is really awesome. This is where people come in to see everything that you can get from TaylorMade. So for all you TaylorMade fans out there, this is literally your dream room. Everything from gloves to towels, all the types of putters, the Kalia set with the irons, all the different types of irons, the main club of the moment, the Stealth, which looks so incredibly cool. All the balls you could ever want in your life, bags, everything. It's just the coolest room ever. I like to see how you live in the real world. This is, I was gonna say the tour truck room. It's not the tour truck room, is it? What do you call it?
The tour office.
The tour office. This is Mark. You do all of the tour truck stuff.
Anything basically related to elite players, like so DP Tour players, elite amateurs, ladies tour, anything product that TaylorMade give away for free essentially to ambassadors of some sort, it all comes out of this office or out of our tour truck.
And he builds it all. So if you ever see like a TaylorMade tour truck or anything at an event, this guy is likely to be in it. Do you want to show us around a little bit?
Yeah, obviously we've got all of our staff players up here. So we've just had a bit of a changeover of shafts just with the start of the truck season. So we put all of our new staff players and everything, so we'll keep, same as we do on the tour truck, we'll keep one of every player's shaft in there. So we've always got a backup set for every single player that we look after. Yeah, and obviously these are all of our graphite wood shafts. So we've probably got around about 4,500 shafts here usually, quite a lot obviously.
Question, if someone was to change their shaft, or they never really changed their shaft, would you have to restock it all? For example, if Tommy was like, oh, I don't want to play that shaft anymore and I've changed my shaft.
Yeah, so usually in the sort of off season we'll do testing with the players, and that's the time where we might look into testing new shafts, because it might be that new product, a new shaft works better, or there's new shafts on the market that, you know, the shaft manufacturers want us to test with the players. That's the time when they're likely to change shaft. It's not likely to happen mid-season.
Right, I see.
It would be very unusual for any player to change shaft kind of mid-season. Done all of our early season testing, which is why this is all kind of empty now. And we're going to go through the bag and put every shaft for every player in the slots there. And we've got exactly the same thing on the tour truck as well.
Are these all just shafts?
Yeah, so just graphite shafts, and then obviously over this side is all of our steel shafts, all of our iron shafts.
Oh my goodness.
It's a lot, yeah.
If there's so many different shafts, how could you do a custom?
So this is like one particular type of shaft, so here to here. So that's like 2 iron, 3 iron, 4 iron, 5 iron, 6 iron. So it looks like a lot.
I
see. That's like one set, that's one set, one set, one set.
That makes sense.
So you would only typically, you know, do the testing initially with say a 7 iron shaft.
Oh,
so you
got it.
build a club.
So it's not as much as I thought.
No, so you build a club, so 6 iron, 7 iron. So you might pull a 7 iron shaft in a couple of different options, do some testing with the player, and then whichever shaft's working well, then you might build up the rest of the set and kind of dial in the full bag.
So I want to focus on that one.
So yeah, it looks like a lot, but that's broken down into sets. All the reds are just wedge specific shafts, so they're a little bit softer, generally a little bit higher spin than your kind of standard iron shafts, so they're really, really commonplace. Most guys will use a slightly softer shaft in the wedge, just the same as we retail really. It's not the same shafts in the wedges necessarily as it is in the rest of the set.
Then you've got all your equipment.
Yeah, gripping station, so that's sort of the final, I guess, where once the club's built, driver or something, clamp it in here, that's where the grip goes on, kind of final piece of the process.
Well, this is your weighing machine, isn't it? I've seen you use this one before, actually.
That is a swing weight machine.
And that was what, I remember you put glue in a head once. Was that right? Was that?
You could call it a weighing machine if you like. But it's actually called a shadow graph. So
I'm making your job sound much simpler than it is.
for example, yeah, the club will sit in here, so it's pretty going to be hard to see on the camera, especially this one. The other one's a little bit clearer, but there's a shadow there which will tell us exactly the kind of weight of this club.
I can't see it in real life.
You'll see it on this one. So you see D5.5.
Oh,
so if I just
very
tap it,
vaguely. Oh
if I
yeah.
just tap it, can you see it going up and down?
Yeah, it looks like there's water in it. Why do they make it so hard to see?
Do you know what? We don't think of it as hard to see. I guess we're just used to it. It's quite an old machine now. They don't really make these anymore. So
I thought they'd do it digital or something.
Yeah, so they do digital ones, or they do like the manual ones like we have on the tour truck. But yeah, I mean, this is just something that's been in here for years. I've been here like 10 years now, and that's been there as long as I've been here. So,
really?
So these are all of our different grips.
Nice.
So pretty much every single grip you can think of. We've got the bigger ones, like the mid-size ones, jumbo ones, they're down the bottom. A couple of them need restocking. But you'll see up the top there, these are all of the grips that the manufacturers will send us to kind of distribute, give out to the players.
So does every single custom fit across the country get built here?
Tour related, yeah.
Tour related?
Yeah, everything, not just country, like Europe, South Africa.
Oh, really?
A bit Australia we do, yeah. Basically, everything outside of Asia and the US kind of comes through here, really.
Just in this room?
It's a busy workshop, yeah. We look after about 6 or 7 players in South Africa, 2 or 3 in Australia. So yeah, it's
everyone.
It's a large amount of players. It's not just, you know, you kind of the players that you see on TV each week on the DP Tour.
That's insane.
A lot of our icon players, they might play something a little bit different in terms of their grip. These are the Lambkin grips over there, the Golf Bride, and then here we've got our sort of specific players. So if they play something a little bit unusual or that's not necessarily commonplace, or just we want to make sure we keep some grips aside for them so we don't ever run out. You know, if Rory McIlroy wants a driver sent to Northern Ireland by tomorrow, we need to make sure we've got a grip for him there. These are all Sergio's grips, so they're pretty unusual, super stroke ones.
They're nice.
Yeah, Rory's are actually pretty standard. He's always played a pretty normal grip, same as sort of Tiger really. Ooh. These are very unusual, so these are like, Lucas Herbert plays these ones.
Those are like leathery.
They are, they're actually like kangaroo leather. So
what? I can't even see with the plastic, but that is crazy.
They're very popular in Asia and Australia where it's very humid. So they're very, very tacky. Probably, I don't know if you ever felt one.
No. Oh my, it feels like sticky.
Yeah, almost feels sticky, but in the humidity of like Asia or Australia where you get sweaty palms, that's tacky, sticky, and they don't really wear out either. So
that's so interesting. Kangaroo leather.
I'll probably go through a lot less grips because they last a lot longer as well. So,
felt so sticky.
It's a really unusual feel, and I think anyone in this country who tries it thinks it's
really bizarre. Yeah, it's like, you know, when you took it's like when you have like a sticker on something and you've took the sticker off, but you've left the stickiness of the sticker. That's literally the feeling, isn't it? Yes, he said yeah.
Oh, it is, yeah. So yeah, Tommy Fleetwood's. These are all Tommy's grips. So a few puffer grips put by for him.
There you go, all sorts of colours.
He tends to like the blue ones because he's an Everton fan. So that's why he's kind of got his own special kind of blue ionic grips. These are pretty cool. So these are Justin Rose's grips with his own little logo on top there. So he's the only guy I know that has that, I think.
Oh really? Yeah, we saw Justin yesterday.
Yeah.
Fancy?
He tests a lot of clubs, hence why his grip
is
normally pretty low. Over this side, again, we probably haven't got heaps of stock. Oh, we have got a fair bit, but the tour truck's just gone off for its first 2 events. So a couple of weeks ago, we were busy loading the tour truck. So we would have pulled all the stock from out of these drawers here. We've had a little top up since then.
People just think this is so cool, like you just open a drawer and it's just filled.
Yeah.
Are they all exactly the same? Oh,
well, so these are, if you look at these two, for example, we'll pull 2 different heads, for example. So that's one of the differences, I guess, we have with our equipment. So every single head is tested individually for exact lie, exact loft, exact face angle. Because when we're working with like an elite player, half a degree of loft is going to make a huge amount of difference. I need to know if I'm, you know, giving Rory a driver and he plays a 10.2 loft, for example, he'd be lower than that, but let's just call it 10.2. You know, I can't go and give him a 9.8. That's going to give him a different performance, a different result. We'll look through the labels really carefully to cherry pick a head for each individual player based on, we know what face angle they like to see. Do they like it a little more open, a little more square, and exactly what loft is on it. So with the kind of sleeve setting and the exact loft, we can pretty much achieve any precise loft that we want to achieve. But you know, if the player likes say 2-degree open face angle and 9.5, and you know, we know we've got to pick say 10.5 loft head, put it 2 clicks lower, and we're going to get it around 9.5.
Gets so technical, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, and that's slightly finer tuned details, I guess, that we have in Tour, is that, you know, we'll just look into the finer details of the exact loft, the exact lie, exact face angle, and also the exact weight. So we just have a lot of weight options, I guess, maybe more than you might get in the retail market. We just so we can dial in exact CG locations, the centre of gravity location for the head. So do we want the weight all up front? Do we want the weight all up the back? Which position? You know, the more weight I put in this front track, the more influence it's going to have on the ball flight. So all those kind of little things are just taken into consideration. So
I'm just happy to have a driver.
You'll see that kind of thing here, so stealth back weights.
Oh, interesting.
So we've got 7 different options for stealth back weights. So
I've seen people put metal on their irons as well to make it
lead tape.
Oh yes, lead tape.
Lead tape, yeah.
It looked kind of cool. I thought it was custom made, but actually it was lead tape.
It's just lead tape, yeah. Yeah, a couple of the manufacturers use it kind of maybe a little bit more prevalently than we do. But we've got that as well, so that'll just be this stuff. I tend to use it quite a lot when I'm testing. If I'm testing swing weight with a player, if I'm testing centre of gravity location, I might take a little strip of lead tape. For example, that.
Because it looked like someone had brushed it on though.
Yeah, so that would be about 1 swing weight. So that would be the equivalent of about 2 grams. With some of the clubs, you'll see them like stick it on the club and then almost like heat it up a little bit to burn it in. Look into the iron straw there as well.
Loads of irons.
So,
I love irons.
So if I'm testing with a player and I think he may need to go a little bit heavier in swing weight, then we can stick a little lead tape on there like that. That'll add a swing weight to it.
And does it matter where you put it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. For an iron, it doesn't have as huge an impact, I would say, but certainly on the wedges, we'll consider where we put it. So, you know, because it can influence the spin and the interaction with the club. So typically, yeah, if we were trying to kind of increase launch or something, you'd get it as low as possible in the head, because that's just going to influence how the club reacts at impact. But yeah, we don't use lead tape an awful lot, but you know, if it's as part of the testing process for myself personally, I'll use it. But I like the clubs to look fresh and clean. You know, I don't want them leathered with lead tape. I mean, some of the old school pros quite kind of liked it, and they like, you know, the bends. So this is the Loft and lie machine. So you know, we'll get the irons in there and crank them around, and you do hear some guys like to know that their clubs have been kind of messed around with and they're not standard.
They're unique.
But I think there's nothing nice and like a fresh clean set clubs that's kind of I don't want to see lead tape plastered all over them. A little look into the wedge drawer, so reasonably well stocked on there as well. So these drawers will be very kind of similar to what we'll have on the tour truck. But the idea is that the tour truck is set up almost like a mini office, so we'll have the same kind of style drawers, similar sort of quantity of stock as well for that summer season.
They do look good, don't they? I do like the look of TaylorMade clubs.
Oh, that's good.
Helpful, huh? I like the black ones, they're the cool ones.
The black wedges?
Yeah.
We don't actually really do those too much on tour. I mean, unless we've got a special request.
People don't like the look of it.
Look, we've got a few just shoved in the back drawer. Look.
Do people not like them?
To be honest, it's not that they don't like them. I mean, so we do have a few just for kind of special requests or any VIPs or something that ask for them, but we like it to kind of be pretty uniform. So, and also it's stock. So if we had to carry every bounce option, so you'll see, you know, we've got various different bounce options for all the different lofts. You know, low bounce, 10 bounce, there's high bounce options as well. So if you had to carry every bounce in every, you know, the black finish, the chrome finish, that's a lot of SKUs, that's a lot of parts. So it's partly for that, but also from a visibility standpoint on tour, you want things to look kind of the same. So for example, we do the My Stealth drivers, but on tour, we don't offer the My Stealth because...
What's My Stealth?
So where you can choose the colour of the face.
So it's more like for your everyday golfer who has these colour changes.
I mean, I think it's cool, like that. you know, you can get the face in green and blue and
Yeah, I've seen
yellow,
that.
whatever colour you want. But from a visibility standpoint, you know, from a tour perspective, we want all the players to kind of use the same thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, if someone looks at a red face on TV, you know that's a TaylorMade driver. And if we open it up to one player, like one guy says, oh, I want a yellow, then the next guy's going to ask the next guy, the next guy. And also these guys are testing and tweaking and changing all the time. So, you know, at the retail, you buy a driver and typically you'd stick with that for, you know, at least 12 months minimum. Whereas the guys on tour are always testing, and, you know, if you had to constantly be getting in different colour faces for the players, it would be, you're opening
Bit of a nightmare. A can of worms.
Yeah, you're opening a big can of worms there. So fairway woods and hybrids. It looks pretty nice and neat when they're all like that, doesn't it?
Really nice and neat.
So that's your sort of rocket heads, your 13.5 degrees, and you've got your 15 degrees, which these will be the most popular for sure.
Oh, you're really stocked up on these.
Yeah, we are actually, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do so many hybrids, not as many as we would do in fairway woods. A lot of the tour guys, half of them will use like a 2-iron or you know, a P790 UDI or something like that. Some of them will have a hybrid as an option. Although, for example, we just worked with Rasmus Højgaard this week. He's got a hybrid and he's got a driving iron as well. So he'll use either or depending on the court. But I would say probably about 1 in 4 of our staff players use a hybrid. There's a few more of these like modern day driving irons and whatnot out in play nowadays. And then this is pretty much our Bob McIntyre draw, really. He's the only lefty on tour that we look after. So this is a backup set of irons for him, or 2 sets. These are the wedges he uses. We got these, you know, if he ever wants to test them, I guess. If he asked us, you know, wanted to test the MG3s, then, you know, we have to have them there for him. Maybe a lefty product in there for him.
Are you building my irons? Or is someone else building?
I am not. Over here,
he costs more.
So we've got our kind of tour store area around the corner where we keep all of our, you know, bulky stuff, like, you know, all our boxes and boxes of hats and tour bags and golf balls and practice balls and everything like that. But we keep a little snack in here because, like, we're pretty, you know, if we need to ship out, you know, some practice balls and some gloves to a player, we can just quickly call them off from here.
Oh, do they have specific balls for them?
So yeah, so the...
Oh, so you can see literally like what balls each player uses.
Exactly, yeah. And so these ones up here are guys that have got their own specific number. So any player that's won on tour, we offer them their own individual choice of number. You can see it on most of the
boxes. They can put
here.
numbers on the ball, you mean?
Yeah, so, you know, rather than your regular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, so you can see Nikolai Højgaard, number 44, Rasmus Højgaard, 01. Tommy Fleetwood doesn't say on there, he's number 19, Rory, number 22, Colin just plays number 5. Strangely, Sergio and DJ both just play number 1, nothing too exotic there.
But number 1 is fast, that's probably why.
His is a cool one, number 59. So I think he shot a 59 pretty early in his pro career. So
cool.
Ever since then he's had a number 59 on the ball. So
that's a good idea. I like it.
All of our headwear in that one, gloves.
Now you had your sponsored. Are they people who are sponsored by brands that you have headwear on? There's like a WeChat
Some of them,
one.
yeah. Some of them, yeah. So that will be. Some of them obviously have corporate logos on. So
yeah, I saw. Oh yeah, and American Golf.
So yeah, a bit like the.
WeChat.
Yeah.
American Golf.
Can probably work out who that is anyway. But yeah, some of them, you know, have got their own corporate sponsor logos. So we've got most of those on the truck, to be fair. But
everything.
Yeah.
It's all. What a nice day.
I'd say we've got a much bigger store area around there, but I should have tidied it up for you a little bit today.
I think I like it natural. Oh, natural. Raw.
Got some top secret stuff here. You're not allowed to film.
In the boxes.
This is all the open head covers. So obviously open at St Andrews in a few months, and we've just taken delivery of our kind of, you know, driver head covers, fairway head covers, putter covers. So I'm sure they'll be all over social media and whatnot in a couple of months when we're up at St Andrews.
Oh, nice little teaser there.
Yeah. We've got the tour bags around in the store area as well, so everyone's always excited, I think, to see the TaylorMade, like, you know, the cool individual like major bags,
limited edition.
Yeah, I think
stuff.
everyone loves them. I mean, you can see one there.
Love it.
With a Rory one. So that was in 2017 US Open, that one.
That is so cool, huh?
And these are always, you know, really cool. We've got quite a few of them.
Oh
so,
wow.
Yeah, we've got
Looks
a few
so
more
cool.
of them up there. So I think that's something that TaylorMade do really, really well. like those major bags. Everyone, even like our staff players, even other manufacturer staff players, they always look forward to seeing the TaylorMade major bag. Over here, this is our little putter stock, I guess, our tour putter stock. Again, we've probably got at least this amount again on the tour truck.
Wow, there are so many putters.
This is the one, the GT, that we're really, it's kind of had a lot of interest from the tour players this year.
Really?
So we've obviously got it in the 3 colourway options there, the black, red, silver. So as you can see, I mean, we've only got 5 left here. So we've got a lot of these going on the tour truck at the moment, because there's a lot of requests for those coming in. And this, as you might have noticed, is also
that Monster.
Cool.
Tiger Woods is sponsored by Monster.
He is, yeah, he's had
under a rock
in the golfing world. This is like a replica set of the exact set that he plays.
Really?
So
that's so cool. These are nice. Oops, I just read there. These are nice clubs, right?
Minus the wedges at the moment, but we're going to get that put on a shelf in the corner here, because it's just a pretty cool display piece.
I really like clubs. Are really pretty, aren't they?
These clubs, or just clubs in general?
TaylorMade, of course.
TaylorMade.
No other brand is as good as TaylorMade. Remember. No, I actually really like them. I play much better with them than some of the other brands. Obviously everything's down to feel, but my feel, TaylorMade. That's why I've been using it in my bag for so long. Ever since I started, actually.
Guys will like come on the truck after a major, and they tend to need to swap over their bags back to the regular ones. So some of them just hang around, and we've got probably about another dozen or so in the store area.
So cool.
So we ended up having a few of these laying around, which are really nice.
Just laying around. Yeah, you need to make a little like show area for yourselves.
Yeah, to be honest, we will. We're working on it.
Where are you going to put it?
We're going to do something in and around the putting green there. So the putting area there, I think we're going to have a nice little display over there.
Anyway, thank you so much for the tour. It was wonderful.
Good.
I hope you guys enjoyed the tour workshop. We're about to go into the custom fit workshop now, which is literally where my clubs have been made. Right, we've had to put on these really fashionable glasses just because, you know, in case of like debris, chemicals, etc. Here we go. We're coming into the warehouse. Wow, this is crazy. Hello. I feel like I'm in B&Q. This is ginormous. Home of custom.
Okay, so pretty much this is where we first receive our orders from the warehouse. Everything you see here is component form. Everything in the warehouse over that side is all our components that we need to fulfill the orders. So we are just solely a custom HQ now. All our standard products is shipped via Fairham. First thing we do is we actually scan the works order. So we work basically when we're building, we work off this barcode here, and we have these screens here. So we can log into our workstation, so we all have our unique barcodes, okay, so we know exactly who's done what to the order throughout, start to finish. What we need to do next, we'll scan the works order, and then we actually scan all the individual serial numbers into the system. So what this enables us to do is track the product all the way from start to finish through the build process. So you'll see when we get to packaging as well, they'll actually rescan the serial numbers just to make sure that the same heads that came in are the same ones going out. So there's no risk of mixing up any orders. Once it's all scanned in, it comes into our hosel prep area. So our components, they can sit in storage for weeks, months at a time. So what we need to ensure is that all the components are nice and clean, free of any debris, so it doesn't ruin the integrity of the glue. So what these machines do, so we can actually wire brush out the internal walls of the hosel, the heads. Okay, we then rinse them with a solution, and then we then blow some air into them so that they're nice and dry, ready to go into production.
What's these big things for?
So these are ventilation, so some of the chemicals that we use, we need to have good ventilation, so part of the health and safety culture that we pride ourselves on. Okay, so the machines you see here, we actually had these designed specifically for TaylorMade, so it's all bespoke.
Oh, wow.
So we kind of, golf mechanics supply them, so we go to them with an idea, they send us a prototype, we approve it, and then as you can see, so these will be running all day, every day, so we can clean up to 4,000 heads every single day before going into production. So once we've done the hosel prep, it's then ready to come into the custom build area.
This place is ginormous. It's like a Tardis.
So as you can see, so we've got products, and this would have all been prepped, ready to come into custom. So we need what we call our critical whip, so we need a certain amount of product ready to come into it. So we can output up to, at the minute, in excess of 400 clubs per hour. So we need to make sure that we've got enough work ready to come in. So this is our first cutting room. What this enables us to do is cut entire sets of clubs at one time. Each colour jig represents a different model of iron that we supply. Okay, so what the operator will do, they'll scan the works order and it will request them to scan the correct jig. You can see they all have individual barcodes on here. That enables them to do is they scan the correct jig and it will be basically given the cutting specs once the correct jig's been scanned. So all the technology that we've implemented is basically to try and remove the risk of human error. So as you can see, when we move the jigs, the digital readout will move. Okay, so these are accurate to 0.01 of an inch. So once the trolley's cut, it will then come into the main custom area.
This space is ginormous and it's really, really cool.
The last 6 months has seen a massive expansion in TaylorMade Custom HQ. This area over this side, so this was our workshop area last year, and you can see if you pan around, we've literally doubled the footprint. Okay,
It's so big. I can't believe how big it is.
so right now we're shipping on average around 3,500 clubs per day. The main goal, so by the end of the year, we hope to maximise that and go up to 4K a day output. Second cutting room is here, so we can have 4 machines running all day, every day. So each operator, fully trained, should be able to output about 1,000 shafts a day, which is where it gets us to our 4,000 a day goal.
The same machine as what was in
Exactly
there?
the same machines, yeah.
Wow.
So as you can see, so it's kind of downtime now, so we run a 6 till 2 shift Monday to Friday. At the minute, to keep up with the demand, we do run a bit of overtime, but Friday afternoon, so most people, and the sun's shining.
Sun is
decided to
shining.
finish on time today.
It's like the perfect weather today you could possibly ask for.
After cutting, once we're happy, it comes into full production line. So we have 6 streams, they're all identical. So we literally pass it from process to process down the production line. First port of call would be setup and swing weight. Okay, so this is where they're checking to make sure the product is right, making sure the right shafts go on the right heads. And this is where we also swing weight and change any flight control technology settings on that. So what they'll do, they'll scan the works order into the system and it will actually give them a target weight of what they should be able to achieve throughout the set. So this basically reduces the time. What we used to have to do is weigh the entire set first and then go back and re-weigh it and insert these weights that basically these weights here sit inside the hosel, the head. So our tolerances from start to finish within the set is 1 swing weight. Any settings that need changing on the drivers will be done here as well before passing on to the next process. Here we have our gluing process. So once we're happy that it's swung weight, it gets passed to the next station. So what we actually have right in front of us now is we call it a shim order. Okay, so we actually offer like any shaft, any head. Okay, so we can actually put a taper tip shaft in a parallel iron head. Okay, so that enables us to have a wider variety of products to offer the customer. Also, when they scan the works order at the gluing station, it will start a 30-minute timer. Okay, the reason we do that is that's how long it takes for them to cure on the carousels here. So again, these were designed by us. So these can hold up to just over 100 irons per carousel. So we can actually have, if you look down the line, we can have 600 clubs curing at any one time. So when we get to gripping, okay, so these are our grip stations, so they all run off air pressure. We also have laser alignment. So you can see laser alignment not only comes up the club, it actually goes down the club as well, so we can have full shaft, grip and head alignment, so really good for training purposes as well. So again, it's given them as many tools as we can to make their jobs easier and more efficient.
How long does it take to like build a club end to end?
So our tack times, we kind of reduced it by 2/3 with everything we've introduced. So it used to take about 180 minutes, so we can get it down to probably 60 minutes now from start to finish.
Per club?
We're outputting in excess of 400 clubs an hour. Basically, we pass the products down the lines, okay? So we go on to the next process. We then come to our loft and line machine. We currently have 3 of these machines. These are our bullseye machines, painted by TaylorMade. No other golf company has these machines. This is where we can adjust the loft and line. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll scan the works order into the pie. Okay, it will give them the specs, it will give them what loft and line adjustments they are. We then have to select the correct product on the screen here. So we have 790s. If we scroll, we can see, so we go to P790s. We have a 4 iron, and we need to adjust the lie to 2 degrees upright. The loft is standard, okay? What we do, we then clamp the club into the machine. Okay. So this all runs off air pressure as well. Okay, what we then have to do, if you watch the screen, we centralise the club in the machine. We get our crosshairs. And we then basically centralise the club. Once it's aligned, it will be green. We then release it. So what we see here, this is our radar. Okay, so we basically, it's called bullseye because we need to get this dot right in the middle. So the yellow dot you see is the current loft and line, so standard loft and line. So what we do, we take the adjustable bending bar, okay, and we will actually, if you watch the screen, as I bend the club, you can see the dot begin to move, okay. When it goes green, that means that loft and lie has been achieved. So that's within our tolerance, it's less than 1/4 of a degree. Okay, so these are actually accurate to 0.01 of a degree as well. Okay, so the tape is just to protect it from the bending bar. We remove the tape just to ensure that there's been no damage during the process. Once we're happy, we check for damage. We then move on to the next club. Once we're happy, the loft and lie adjustments have been made. We then come to the cleaning stations. Okay, so this is where we make it nice and shiny, ready to send out to the customer. Any shaft band labels that are added that require it going onto the shaft, we add here. A lot of them are already heat transferable, so they come into us like heat transfers, but there are several products that do need labels adjusted. Then we move down to our QC. So this is our quality check. Every single club that we build goes through quality check. What we have here, as you see, so everything you see in front of you, so this is ready for packaging. We'll scan the works order. We'll actually rescan the serial numbers into the pipe just to make sure that the same product that came in is going out the door. Once it's scanned, all the heads are accurate. They can then package it, seal it, place it onto the trolley, and then it goes down to our shipping area. We have a rework area, so if at any point of the build process there's an issue with the build, it will come to a separate area for a rework. So basically this is items that fall just outside our tolerances, so they will disassemble if need be. We can reorder the components, rebuild the item, okay, but then it goes back into production, back to cleaning, back through QC, because if we didn't get it right first time, we're going to get it right the second time, okay. So putter lab at the minute, we haven't got any, we cleared them all for today, but this is our inline putter, so custom putters we have flowing through here daily as well. So you can see the difference there, so we have to build them offline because basically of the way they cure and the angle of the shafts, we need specially designed frameworks to kind of hold the clubs as they're curing. Putter, loft and lie machine, okay, so you've got the bullseye in there, so for the irons, so we actually check all the loft and lies on the custom line putters as well before they get shipped out to the customer. And then once we're done, as I say, everything, we're happy with the product, it gets packaged over there. We then bring it through to our packaging area. You can see we actually, so these are our custom boxes, you can see slightly different for my Stealth product as well. We thought that was a nice touch for the customer to have a slightly different design on the boxes. So this is basically where we're consolidating shipments, okay, so it's ready to go out to customer. So obviously we cover Europe, so we have to segregate sort of UK, Europe, non-EU and Ireland. So they all go onto separate cages right here, and then what happens, we bring it through into our consolidation area. Okay, so this actually enables us to consolidate customers' orders throughout the day. So what we were finding is we can have 4 orders for the same customer throughout the day, but not necessarily at the same time. So what this enables us to do is actually consolidate those until it's full, and then we can actually send it as one shipment to the customer. So basically cost effective for us, but also environmentally friendly. So the thinking behind it is the delivery driver is only going to have to go to the customer once rather than maybe 4 or 5 times. So once these are full, it then gets consolidated onto pallets, wrapped up to in different colour wrap depending on what region it's going to. Then goes through to the warehouse. We have daily collection, DHL, 4 o'clock every day to ship that day's product out the door.
What a good tour! You've done this before.
Start to finish. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Plenty of practice.
I hope you guys have enjoyed all of the tours here today at TaylorMade. It's actually so cool to be able to share it with you because, I don't know, I just don't feel like we all get an opportunity to go and like explore these like insane fitting areas and how much hard work actually goes into making your clubs. And obviously if you haven't had a custom fit before, like I speak about it all the time, but it is honestly so amazing, like to actually get a club built for you is just next level, especially next level for like your game and to improve. Like I've got my new clubs here, which I'll do a what's in the bag for you. Honestly, the numbers, if you see my custom fit video, the numbers, they just don't lie. I am hitting so good with them. Apparently even Lily here uses the Stealth irons. I mean, don't hold me to that, but if she does, we're the same. I just think she's super cool. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog, and I will catch up with you in my next video. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can make sure to know about any videos coming up in future. Bye.